So this is just an example of my Zavio account. So I got a field here, and I'm ready to create an application map. So let's just imagine that this field now is at first stage 39, ready for its T2 application. So I click Add Task, and it'll bring me this menu. So you got your seeding, your crop protection, and nutrition, as I just described earlier. For the purpose of this example, I'm going to do a crop protection map. I then create next. And from here, there is a drop-down menu of all the products available in the UK. And it will tell you which ones are variable rate enabled. For this example, I'm going to use Revastar XE. So I selected it, and then I want to also add a PGR. So I'm going to use Canopy, which is also variable rate enabled. And I then press next. So I then have to tell the max rate I want to go to. So I'm going to, for example, choose 1.2. And then it will dose it down accordingly for me. So then for Canopy, let's say 1.6, and then it will dose it down. This is just kind of an example. So then I just want to then change my map. So I want to use my Power Zone map as a source, as this field currently is fallowed actually. So I'm not getting any imagery really from it. So I select my Power Zone, which is here called the multi-year 5 zones. And then once I'm happy with it, I set as a source. So here too, it gives you each zone, how many hectares it is, or in percentage. So the darker are my high LAI zones, and the lighter colors are my lower LAI zones. So then I press Save Application Map, and here to my right, I have just a quick summary of everything. So I can see here the spray zones, reminding me which products I'm spraying and how much water I will need, and per hectare basis, how much I will be applying. So then once you're happy, you press Save. So if you were fast enough, you could have clicked the taskbar there, but I wasn't. So I'll just go on to task here at the top of the bar, the tab, and I have my application map here. So I select one in this case, because I only have one, but if you have multiple spray applications that you create for other fields, you can select multiple at a time. So I go here, it reminds me of my spray application, what it was. And then I press send or download. So as I mentioned, if you were connected through the My John Deere link, you can press here John Deere, and I'll send it there, or Jagri Router. Or here you can download it either in a shape, so this has HP, or ISO XML. The choice is up to your terminal, so it's something that you need to know your terminal, which type of file it prefers, and then so you can download accordingly. And two, you can download a tank recipe, so you can bring with you as a hard copy exactly how much chemical you need. So when you go to the store, chemical store, you know how much to get. So for this example, I'm just going to use a shape file. So then it saves it for me. So you make sure it says save file, and depending how your laptop's set up, it will probably save it in your downloads. There, you just take your file from your downloads, and you move it into your USB stick folder, and just make sure you unzip it at that point. So now I'm just going to just show you an example of how to import a variable rate map. So we've been talking about it, so I'm just going to show you a video and just kind of talk through it through each step. So this is an example of an Ag Leader in Command terminal, which is found quite often in our sprayers around here. So step one is to select this application button here. and it will bring you to this operation configuration selection. So this is just like a quick overview, and it's just a sense check. Is the vehicle correct, and is it connected to the right sprayer? So if you just making sure that your terminal actually is connected to the right machinery. So that's what that just shows. So if that is correct, as it should be, you can kind of just move on to the next step. And it'll bring you to this menu here. So this is just, it will be unique for everyone. So you just need to select the growing season. So if it's this year, 2021, obviously the grower, so you can obviously save your application maps in different folders. Select the farm that you're spraying, you're going to be spraying, and obviously the field. So this will be very unique to everyone. But this, for the example, we've just called it BASF Field Manager Field 1. So once you're happy with that, it'll just bring you to this menu. So it's just asking you for the product selection. If this is an example of fungicide application map, so we've selected fungicide. Once you're happy with that, it'll just bring you here, and you just make sure that you're using liters per hectare. But that should all be correct. And then it'll bring you to this menu, which is kind of the main one, where you can see your tractor in the field. Obviously, this is not in a field, it's in an office, so you don't see anything. So at this point now, we're actually going to be importing the map. So you can see here at this point, the USB stick has always been connected. So you can see here this kind of reddish thing that's glowing to the right of my screen. And yes, so I'll bring you to this menu, and you just want to select this spanner, this ranch, depending where you are in the world. You just want to select it. But if you don't see it, i.e. your screen will look like something like this when you open it, just click on that fungicide button in green, and it will just bring it to you. So now we select the spanner. I'll bring you to this menu. So this is where we're going to be importing the actual map. So you select this RX button with the little folder with the green arrow, and it'll bring you to here. So here's where you can actually see your files. You will have to, before you import it, unzip the files in order to view them. So if you don't see them immediately, chances are they're not actually unzipped. So you just have to make sure you do that beforehand. So now you can see your files. You select the shape one, which is the only one that you can actually select. So the one that ends in SHP. And we're happy with that, and we press go. And you just want to make sure we got the right columns selected. So within your map, you only have the RX column, so that's the only one you could select. Product fungicide, and obviously the units will always be liters per hectare when we're talking about a crop protection variable rate map. So make sure it's selected liters per hectare. And it will show you here just a preview, and these are the different rates that you're working with. This is just an example, so obviously it'll be different for everyone. So yeah, so as mentioned, just make sure all of those are selected. And then here you'll see a preview of your map. If that is what it should look like, then you've done all the steps correct. And I'll just give you here too, just kind of some information just about how much you're actually applying, you know, the mid rate, the minimum and the maximum you're going to be applying. So if that looks correct, you can move on to the next step. Once you just go back and bring you back to this menu, and you're ready to go. So now you will be able to see your map, where you are in comparison to it, and you turn on your sprayer, and it will start going accordingly to the different zones. So now it's coming into this light zone, and here you'll see it all swapping. So yeah, so that's just a quick demo with an ag leader in command. Obviously it differs for everyone if they have a different terminal, but this is just kind of a quick overview. So now, let's say I spray this field, it's now come up to harvest, and I want to import my yield map. So I go onto my analytics tool, And here you'll be able to see all your maps. So I want to import my yield map. So I click add map and upload maps. And here I have an example of a yield map from the previous season, which was exported. So now I just want to re-import it. So I select the DBF file, and then I select the shape, SHP, and then I select the SHX file. So I just grab them, and I just drag them into the browser, or you can just click browse and it'll open your folders for you. Once it's loaded and it likes that, I can press review files. At any point, maybe your maps, aren't working, there's something just not right, you can contact the support either by phone or email, and they're there to help you with any issues you have with importing the maps. So I click the review maps. I select the field, so this is barn field, the crop season, map type, so it's a yield map. And then select date. Say I combine this on the 13th of August. And I select then the yield to make sure it's tons per hectare. If you had any more other information from your yield map, at this point you can select it. If you don't select it, it doesn't make a great difference. But if you just wanted to make it a bit more accurate, you could. So what I mean by that, so if I just put select there, so it asks for the swath width. I know it's called a working width. Also, so this is when it gets a bit complicated. So working width, and I know that is in meters. And then the moisture, which is already labeled as moisture, which is in percentage. Vehicle speed, I know my combine map doesn't have that information. And then vehicle heading, which is just labeled as heading. So this will differ between each combine. So but at any point you need any support or contact, support will definitely help you. So then once you're happy with that, you press generate map. So it takes a few minutes for it to upload. So kind of for the sake of this, I've already pre-uploaded it. So you click onto your yield map and you should see it. So this is your yield map now imported into Xavio. So if I wanted for the next cropping season, create a seeding task, I could.